What would it be like to buy all our household supplies in case lots?
Who is affected when a key factory tool breaks down?
Where would you shop for something called a cullet?
Industry on Parade, Peabody Award winner for public service, filmed in color by the National Association of Manufacturers to give the world a brand new look at our America.
A busy factory, one of the thousands that make the U.S. the most productive country in the world. The output of this factory is ventilator fans, components of which work their way along the production line, stopping briefly at each of the dozens of stations where sub-assemblies are brought together. Inspections and tests are made, and the labor and materials become, at last, finished products. But occasionally, smoothly functioning industrial operations such as this can be halted by a breakdown of just one small link in the long production chain. If the damaged or worn-out piece of equipment is not replaced quickly, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of machines and the people who operate them will be made idle. Customers will not receive their fans. The factory's owners will get no return on their investment. The government will lose taxes, workers their salaries or wages. Downtime is frightfully expensive, and here it's caused by the breakage of a small machine part called a cullet, used in making every fan motor turned out. Through unfortunate oversight, there's no replacement for it in the tool crib, and the company that makes the cullets is halfway across the country. But help is much closer, only about a mile away.
Even at night or on weekends, Ken Eklund, a salesman on the staff of a local industrial distributing firm, is ready to make emergency deliveries to the companies to which he sells a wide range of plant supplies, replacement parts, tools and services needed to keep the wheels turning. That's the function of industrial distributors, keeping production lines moving, the goods flowing and the paychecks rolling out. Emergency calls like this represent only a tiny but a very important and necessary part of the distributor's function. They account for none of his profits, really, but they are a part of total service. The new collet is fixed in place, and in a few minutes the production line should again be in operation. Downtime will have been held to a minimum. Why, you might ask, does the fan company not keep on hand a stock of supplies and replacement parts for its machines and equipment, and thus avoid downtime altogether? Well, most factories do try to stock the items that have to be replaced frequently, but the range of plant supplies and replacement parts, tools, and services is so great that it would be just about impossible, certainly impractical, for a company to keep on hand everything it might need. For a modern factory is a maze of tools and equipment for conveying, shaping, grinding, heating, cooling, cleaning, drying, measuring, and otherwise converting raw materials into finished products. To maintain, operate, and repair all these devices requires that there be a constant, uninterrupted source of supplies of all kinds.
Let's look at some of the industrial supplies and equipment needed in this fan factory. This man uses fasteners to hold the wires in place, industrial supplies, also the wires themselves. This man's power screwdriver came off the shelves of an industrial distributor, as did the screws it sets in place and the spare parts necessary to keep it operating. Conveyors of all kinds and their various components are industrial supplies, as are calipers, micrometers, and other measuring instruments. Replacements for each of these pumps, gauges, controls, tubes, relays, switches, timers, cutoffs, and other fittings must be always available. The task of making them available, along with hoists, forklift trucks, and all the other items on a seemingly endless list, is one the industrial distributor does not perform alone. For standing behind him are the manufacturers of the products he handles. Here is a field representative of one of those manufacturers, a highly skilled technician putting his factory know-how to work He finds that the collet that gave the trouble is not the right type for the work being done and recommends another unit to forestall possible future stoppages. This is his major role, disseminating knowledge to industrial distributors and their customers.
More than 400 companies with hundreds of thousands of employees manufacture the products sold by industrial distributors. The products number more than 40,000, and annual production runs into the billions of dollars. These 40,000 items break down into many categories, including valves,
gears in every conceivable configuration,
chain drives, which often turn the gears,
taps,
saws, including hand saws, circular saws, chain saws, or band saws,
drills,
precision tools,
hand tools,
power tools,
chucks,
fasteners of all kinds and sizes,
abrasives,
V-belts, conveyor belts, and other industrial rubber goods,
and rubber, plastic, and metal hose and tubing, reinforced and otherwise. These, in general, are the types of things that are stocked and sold by industrial distributors. As with other distributor salesmen, Ken Eklund's technical education never ends. In factory classroom sessions and in private discussions with the field representatives of the manufacturers, he learns about all the latest refinements that will be of value to his customers. Factory representatives and industrial distributor salesmen form a communications bridge between the makers and the users of industrial supplies and equipment, a bridge that could be created in no other way nearly so effective. For each of the manufacturers to send experts out to call on every potential customer just wouldn't be economical for them or for the customers who would have to receive hundreds of salesmen without getting the service they enjoy now. The phone bills of factories ordering all their industrial needs direct from manufacturers would be astronomical, and they still would face costly downtime whenever their large inventories inevitably fail to include an urgently needed item. Just maintaining the normally fluctuating month-to-month supply of stocks on hand would require a purchasing staff far larger than most factories maintain. Imagine trying to keep abreast of the specifications, prices, discounts, and availabilities of tens of thousands of items. Or think of the cost of trying to stay current with hundreds of suppliers. Paperwork, like storage space, insurance, obsolescence, internal handling expense, and taxes, must be counted into the high cost of owning things, especially the cost of owning a large inventory of industrial supplies and equipment.
An industrial distributor can compress the paperwork involved in pricing, ordering, controlling inventory, and all the rest. Some large distributors use electronic data processing equipment to keep track of everything: the flow of inventory, payables and receivables, even the typing of invoices and bills of lading at superhuman speeds. And the data processor gives the signal when stocks on hand drop to the reorder point. Right shippers, it says, for stock items, and then lists the items needed. Industrial distributors enjoy the same set of economic advantages that lets local retail merchants operate successfully in the face of strong competition. Both are local businessmen, close at hand, maintaining the necessary stocks close by so that their customers don't have to. When buying gasoline, lubricants, batteries, or tire chains, we want only what we need right now, not large quantities that would cause storage problems, tie up cash, and perhaps deteriorate or go out of date before we could put them to use. we trust our local retailer to help us select the right product for our needs, explain its function and maintenance, and have available a supply of whatever spare parts may be needed, just as the industrial distributor does for his customers. Because our retailer is a local businessman, we benefit from the easy credit arrangements obtainable from a neighbor who knows us personally. Local stocks of whatever we need, in the amounts we need, good advice, ready service, convenient credit, all the things we've come to expect.
Here's the home of a hypothetical family that believes in long-distance buying, getting the quantity discount on every purchase. But when they figure in the time they spend keeping their stocks in order, as well as what they pay for heat, insurance, taxes, and depreciation on this fancy storage room, and all the other costs of possession, they decide in favor of shopping the easy way and letting the retailer worry about all those things. Initial price is only the first of the costs of possession, but if you possess only what you are actually using, it can be the final cost as well, as industrial buyers discovered long ago.
Here in the warehouse of an industrial distributor, a stock clerk checks off the items on a customer's shopping list, just as the clerk in the retail store did for the housewife. The order will be delivered to the customer's door first thing tomorrow morning, sooner if necessary. The backup stock will remain right here, ready when needed, but not running up plant overhead in the meantime.
The industrial distributor, a man who makes a very real contribution to his community and to the industries that shape its economy. As a local businessman, he is thoroughly aware of the special needs of local companies. For example, if he is located in Detroit, he stocks and is fully informed about the specialized needs of the auto industry. In Pittsburgh or Birmingham, on the other hand, the industrial distributor is able to meet the requirements of the steel industry. In Los Angeles, he is set up to provide the goods and services used by companies in aerospace. And so it goes in every corner of the country. Another reason why, if all industrial distributorships were somehow to vanish, some new way would have to be found of providing the services they supply, and the cost of those services would have to be met. Manufacturers and their customers will always decide together on the best way of dealing with each other. And in the case of industrial supplies, manufacturers and customers have long found the industrial distributor to be a vital pipeline between them.
American industry, builder of a better tomorrow, has presented Industry on Parade. Produced by the National Association of Manufacturers, this program in cooperation with American Supply and Machinery Manufacturers Association.